G'day everyone, joined by David here at Euroa. Let's get stuck straight into it. A bumper day for us where we have 20 runners in 3 states. Let's start off in Sydney in the opening race. Over 1200 metres, the Group 2 Silver Shadow, Formality for Karen McAvoy.
She's drawn really well. I was thrilled with the trial at Cranbourne. When she was last in Sydney, she wasn't appreciating the heavy tracks, but she ran very well in the Percy Sykes. This is the track and distance, so in a small competitive race, I think she'll be very hard to beat.
Race 5 is the Group 3 up-and-coming stakes over 1300 metres. We've got Eshtarak for Brenton Avdullah.
Yeah, he's one of our young stayers. He's on trial for the Spring Champion Stakes. Quality horse, who I think will sprint well fresh.
And the third of our runners comes up in the Group 3 Toy Show Quality over 1300 metres. Rocket Commander for Tommy Berry, Gate 10.
Yeah, she's had the benefit of a run. The extra distance will suit her. She's got form on the Sydney leg, and she'll run well from a bit of a sticky gate.
Back to Caulfield in the opening event over 1600 metres for fillies and mares. 2 runners. The first, Hella High Water, Chris Caserta.
Yes, she's been doing these huge runs into the wind. She's got a share of weight, but I think she's really trained on and held her form.
And first up from a spell, Not Only Florina for Regan Bayliss, Gate 1.
She's a horse to follow. I think she'll improve a lot out of the race. The intention was to run her in the 1400, but she wasn't going to get a run. So she'll be improved by the run at the mile, and look for her when she gets out beyond 2,000 metres.
Race 2 is the 1100 metre race for mares. We've got a couple of runners. First up from a rake, Risque for Ben Thompson.
Yes, we've got a dual accepted, but we're leaning to running in Melbourne. Just with Lankan Rupee going over, hitting a heavy track first up after such a long break, we just thought the Caulfield option, we're going to get better ground at Caulfield.
And the second of our runners is Sullivan Bay for Corey Parrish.
She's raced brilliantly all winter. She's been in work for over a year. 1100 should be ideal. Probably a slight question mark on the class, but she always presents.
Race 3 over the 1100 metres, we've got 2 runners. The first is Highland Beat for Regan Bayliss.
From an awkward gate, in really good form. Freshened up a little bit here, very fit. Should run well.
And first up from a spell, Dusty Jack for Damien Oliver.
Yeah, going very well. I think a horse to follow for the spring. Awkward gate, he'll be charging home late.
Race 4 over the mile. Again, we've got a couple of runners. The first of those is Petrology for Corey Parrish.
Yeah, Corey really knows this horse. He's got a good affinity with him. There'll be a bit of speed. Look for him running home late.
And Jack and Obey for Regan Bayliss.
Yeah, the 10-year-old. We're hoping he can crack the $1 million bracket. He ran well in Sydney, and he didn't settle into Sydney, so we've brought him back to Lindsay Park. He's been thriving the last 2 weeks. Should run well. Race
5 is the Group 3 Quizette Stakes over 1100 metres for the fillies. We've got 3 runners. The first is Catchy, Craig Williams.
Yeah, Catchy, if the rain doesn't come, will definitely run, and if she runs, it'll take power of beating. She's a quality filly.
Tulip for Mark Zara.
If Catchy runs, Tulip probably won't run, but if the rain does come, Tulip will run, and if she runs, I'd be very confident.
And the third of her runners is Ploverset for Regan Bayliss.
Really good filly. She's a stakes winner already, and I think she's in for a wonderful preparation. And I expect to a first 3 performance. Just not confident she could beat Catchy.
Race 6 is the Group 3 Vane Stakes. Again, a couple of runners. First of those is Wait for No One, Corey Parrish.
Yeah, a couple of awkward gates. We put the pacifiers on him. He ran well first up. I think there's enough speed in this to hold him up. We tried to hold him up the other day and he led. Hopefully, with the tempo around the bend, he can take a sit.
And we also have Plutocracy for Regan Bayliss.
He's got a terrible gait, but he's a horse to follow. Wherever he goes from here, he'll just keep getting better. His trials and track work have suggested he's really improved.
The main event on the day is the Group 2 PB Lawrence Stakes over 1400 metres. 2 runners. First is He's Our Rocky, Dwayne Dunn.
Yeah, I think he's back to his best. His track work's excellent. Hot race, well drawn, should run well.
And Tashby, Regan Bayliss, Gate 12.
What he's got is winter fitness on his side. He'll roll forward, sit in the first couple. Could be a bit of a blowout chance. His preferred distance is 1400 metres.
Race 8 is the listed Regal Roller Stakes over 1,200 metres. We have first up from break Vega Magic, Damien Oliver, gate 11.
Yeah, very happy with him. Group 1 last start winner. Getting ready for the Memsey, who will obviously be improved, but I'm sure he'll run well.
And across to Adelaide, we have the one runner over the 2,500 metres. That's Epsom Hill for Jake Duffy.
We've got a wet track at last, and every time he runs on a wet track, he's always in the finish. So we scratched Wednesday because the rain didn't come, and I think he'll run well.
What's our best for a big day, David?
I like Catchy and Vega Magic, 2 quality Group 1 horses.
Thanks, David.